Hey, Xiomy here. So today's video is going to be like my thoughts or a mini book review on The Heart of Betrayal by Marie E. Pearson. Now this is the second installment in the Remnant Chronicles series, and this book surpassed all and any expectations that I had for it. This is the sequel to the first one. The first one is The Kiss of Deception, and this book just blew my mind. It was amazing. The plots and the twists were just sheer brilliance, honestly, and some of them my jaw just dropped and I was like, no, that can't be happening. And characters were even better in this one, and it's the same characters, but it's just like we learned so much about them. Cadden, I fell in love even more with Cadden. I know he's the assassin, but I fell for him even more because we got to learn his backstory and we got to learn why he had those scars on his body and his relationship with the Commissar. And honestly, Leah, just spectacular. She was the same. She was always selfless and valiant, and she always fought for anybody, no matter who it was, and she stood up for those she believed in. And that was something that was even more amazing that I loved about her. I love her as a character. She's so relatable, but she's so strong. Even though she knows she's gonna be punished severely for it, she'll do it. She doesn't care, you know. That's the kind of person that she is, and I admire her. I love her character. She's someone that's just amazing to read about. And The Heart of Betrayal was just such an amazing book. Raph was even more incredible, and sometimes it was like it's like he got me mad sometimes because he has this ability to just switch from one person to another so easily, and I know sometimes it does bite him inside, but you know, it was just amazing to read about these three characters again and new characters that are introduced. And the fact that everything is basically set in the kingdom of Venda, and we get to learn a lot about that kingdom, and we get to learn the Commissar, which he is our new antagonist in this book. I really did hate him, honestly. I loathe him. There are so many words that I can describe to hate that character, honestly. I mean, he was so ruthless and he was so barbaric. He was barbarian to the most. I mean, obviously the way he was, you know, raised, he was the assassin before that, but it's good in the end because he is loyal to a foot. Honestly, he's loyal to a T, and honestly, his character in this book just blew my mind even more. I sympathized for him so much. The fact that he got his scars and the way he got his scars, and knowing that his father was a royalty. His father was a royalty, so that's why he hates royalty so much. And knowing that his father abandoned him, and you know, his mother, the fact that she died. But it was just, it was so hurtful when he just said everything to Leah, and this was something that I wasn't expecting, but I loved it when he expressed himself and he said everything about his life, and the fact that he has the sight, because he does have the sight. And one point it is stated was like, what? Because Leah does state that, you know, she wondered if men can also have it. Now I have to admit that the Commissar did take me by surprise when he proposed that he wanted to marry Leah, or Giselle as she wants to be called now. And it's basically something that was strategic because he just wanted to flaunt her to, you know, his kingdom and the people there, because there were a lot of old people that were very superstitious. And Leah was beginning to read a lot about the Vendan text, and you know, she was tapping even more into her sight. And the fact that she got to see Venda, the spirit of Venda, was, you know, captivating, because I was like, wow, she's experiencing her past lives. I mean, so, you know, she is very powerful once she tapped into her sights. And that was really cool to read about, that she was, you know, knowing about her past lives and her past nobilities and about past people that had, you know, the sight. But the fact that the Commissar just wanted to flaunt her in front of people and just put false hope where there wasn't any. When the Commissar took her to see the army, I was like, no, what is happening here? That much of an army? Oh my god. Honestly, because, you know, you do know that there's something happening, because she does sense that something is wrong or there's something's happening, but she can't tap she can't tap into it. She doesn't know what is it that's happening, because she does feel it, but she doesn't know what it is. The new characters that were introduced, Aster, that cute little kid, that little girl, I fell in love with her, even though you didn't see that much about her. It were only bits and pieces. But when the commissar killed her, I was like, no. Nope. Somebody kill the commissar. Karen, where are you? Kill the damn commissar. Because there is a point in the book where Karen and the commissar fight, because this is where he knows that she is going to be betrothed to him. And they're basically fighting and he holds back. I'm like, no, don't hold back. But, you know, Karen doesn't want to be the commissar. And when the commissar does kill Aster, that little girl, and Leah is right there, and this is when they're plotting to leave, because they already had plotted their escape, and that was on the day of their escape and also on the day of the wedding. There's a trend going on here, right? She's always escaping like on the eve of her weddings. But in this case, I'm so for it. I'm so for it. But you know, the fact that she went up to the commissar and just stabbed him, I was like, yes, man. I wasn't expecting it, but I was like, oh, finally. But this is the downfall. She's the new commissar now. So a lot of them are going to want to kill her, especially Malik. You know Malik, the one who wanted to kill her in the beginning, and I swear, she taunted him in this book so much. I'm like, if she doesn't have a death sentence, she's going to have it pretty soon. But it was so amazing. I mean, when she spoke, and when she spoke her mind, and when she beat Malik in a game and just embarrassed him in front of everybody, was just so... It was funny, honestly. I have to admit that I really did like it. To me, the fact that Leah killed the commissar was amazing. The fact that in the end everything just like lets loose and everybody begins to slaughter one another in defense of Leah, because we have Grizz. I knew it. I knew Grizz was a double spy, because he is. And he does say it in this book. I knew he was a double spy, and he does admit it in this book. But like the fact that all hell breaks loose in the final pages of this book was just like, honestly, it's like I couldn't breathe in the last couple of pages. I was like, I was holding my breath and I was like, what is this? What is this? What's happening? Oh my God. It was just so much action, and you were like, wait, no, am I missing something? What's happening? It was just amazing to read, and I loved it. I loved every single aspect of the final pages when all hell just breaks loose and they're defending the new commissar. And Karen, oh my God, Karen again broke my heart. You know, when Leah does finally say that she's leaving with Prince Jackson, which he finally mentions his name, that he is the prince. But Karen, like, you know, he kind of knew about this. He's, you know, he's not a stupid assassin. He does know a lot of things. And the fact that when they're escaping, when Malik shoots Leah, I'm like, they finally escaped, and the book ends with Leah with an arrow through her back and through her leg. And I'm like, what? I was looking, I was like, wait, there's more pages. No, it was just her, the author explaining some things. But honestly, this was an amazing book. I loved it. It was great. I can't, you know, say enough good words about this. And Marie E. Pearson, you're my new favorite author. Honestly, I didn't believe that I was gonna dive that much into a book, and I just did. And this book glues you, it compels you, and you feel. There are a lot of feelings in this book. Honestly, this book really didn't make me cry until when Aster is killed. That's the only part that I really did like shed tears. The part that did like piss me off a lot was how the commissar treated Leah, and that was just like, oh, I really did loathe him. And in fact, you know, everything is basically Karen's fault, but you can't blame him that much because he did it to defend her. He did it to protect her. What he didn't know was the outcome of it. He didn't know that the commissar was going to fall for her. And that's when basically everything, like, you know, started to get even more intense. And, you know, how they escaped was amazing. The fact that you didn't get to know, or you don't get to know what happens to Leah. You have to wait until the third book comes out. It was kind of like, I can't handle the death of a major character. I just can't, especially Leah. I sympathize so much for Leah, and I love her character, that if something happens to her, I don't think I can survive, honestly. But I gave this a 4.8 in Goodreads, just because the fact that there's a part when Raph and Karen are fighting in a sword fight, and basically Cadden says after their fight, you do know that Cadden says that, oh, by the 10th strike I knew he had me, but he held back. And I was like, wait, you're the assassin. You're the assassin. And I know he's the prince, but the prince is gonna best you. This is just me nitpicking, but this was an amazing book, and I love Cadden more than Raph. I'm sorry, but I have to admit it. Like I said, I love this book. This was an amazing book. If you're skeptical about reading it, don't be skeptical. Just read this book. It's amazing, and you know, I can't say any more good words about it because the book just stands on itself. Honestly, it's amazing, and it'll give you a good ride, honestly. But pick it up, read it. It's amazing. I can't wait for the third book to hurry up and come out, so hopefully everything will be answered in that book. I want to thank you for watching, and until next time, peace out.